Hello, welcome back to Cage Side Press. I am Patrick McCorry, and I am joined by Oktagon MMA promoter Pavol Neruda. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, good. Happy, excited about tomorrow.
It's the first tournament of the year. How important do you think this event is to set the tone for the year?
Actually, that's true. Yeah, it's important. It's important, because new season started. The RTL is a big deal that we will be there for the whole DACH region, and a lot of things changed in last 12 months. So now, big expectations from our side and from everyone, and that I think it will be a great tournament and great start for the year.
And you have the beginning of the Tipsport Gamechanger tournament in the middleweight division this time. What are your expectations for the tournament? Obviously, I don't think you have a prediction for who's going to win, but how do you expect this tournament to go, and how important is it for Oktagon in 2025?
Well, it's the biggest tournament in Europe, the best middleweights you can possibly put together.
Yes.
They are there, so it's really for whole Europe actually great thing to watch, and I have big expectations. Also, you know why? Because this 84 middleweight category, it's a big dude. It's so attractive for people, even for the average viewers. Suddenly you care because it's this big masculine man. It's different than lightweight. I mean, you know what I mean? It's heavier, usually more attractive. And
the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Yes, and it's more chaos could be, and for let's be honest, for girls, it's more attractive. Oh, this handsome man, I'm fighting. I'm curious. So for everyone, I think it's a little more interesting, and also we have Kerim, many nations all together, a lot of Germans, crazy people from South Africa.
Yeah, and an interesting one in the tournament is Ion Serdu. He just won the welterweight title, and before defending it, he's already moving up a weight class and taking on the best middleweights in the world. How do you see him competing with these guys? He said before that he's not that much smaller. He's actually quite a big guy, isn't he?
He is, but still, I think it's different. He said, I'm training with middleweights in my gym, and I'm competing good. But it's different in fight, and the power of the punch from the guy who is middleweight is different than welterweight. So I think he will have a hard times, but I think this is perfect time for him. He loves challenges. This is a great challenge for him. He's now champion, and it can be nothing better than competing in middleweight, biggest tournament possible. You never know when this chance can come, or if anytime in life.
And he's here in Düsseldorf right now. He's training at UFD gym with the likes of Paulo Costa from the UFC, Roberto Soldic, Oban Elliott. So he's training with a lot of these bigger bodies, shall we say. Do you think that helps him, as you said, getting used to that power of the middleweights?
Definitely it will help, but we will see in his first fight. So we're very excited actually. Champion from different weight class.
And he's taken on
all eyes on him.
The new shiny toy, right? The new thing in Oktagon, which is Krzysztof Jotko. Yeah. How excited are you by that signing as well?
Oh, I'm very happy. It's a big name. You even see how all the journalists and people resonate on social media when we announced him. So many people are saying he is the possible winner for them of the whole pyramid. So I'm really curious. I'm happy that that's what I'm saying. That's the best middleweight fighters you can put in one category in one tournament. Amazing.
And opening the main card is, as they were saying before, potential fight of the year in Dennis Ilbai versus Vladimir Lengal. How do you feel that fight's going to go, and how great is it to open the show on the main card?
Oh, that would be great. Everyone is. I think it could be really fight of the night, maybe fight of the year. We'll see.
Well, it's early in the year, right?
Yeah, right. But really, two stand-uppers, two boxing champions. Both of them, they are keeping the 6-7 belts of the really prestigious world organizations. So we really will see top-class boxers who are already very good MMA fighters. Yeah. In a fight, it's very unique and in the world. You don't see this kind of fights that often.
And in MMA right now, it's a kind of interesting spot. You had the GFL say they signed Andreas Michailidis. He obviously didn't sign. He's in this Tipsport Gamechanger tournament. And then you have the PFL, which seems to be changing a lot. They've changed. I don't know if you saw, but they've reduced their prize money.
Yeah, I saw.
So they went from 1 million to 500,000. It feels like Oktagon's the new number 2, just behind the UFC, maybe the UFC of Europe. How do you feel about that?
I think that's correct. I mean, really, I'm kind of like always shy to have this big mouth talk. Oh, we are the biggest, but I really think it is like that. By the number of tickets we sell, by the number of social media following, by all the interest of the media, by the roster. I mean, there's many great promotions like you mentioned or KSW, but I think right now we are the number 2 best fighting product for European audience, because you have these promotions like PFL or UFC even, GFL, but we are in the proper European time. You can watch at 6 p.m. and have fun with your friends at home, with your girlfriend, or watching at bar, like normal sport. It's not at 4 a.m. So I think that's a big advantage by the quality of the fighters, with the show we are making. John Newman in our halftime show, right? And things like this. And if you see the crowds, it's what kind of people are coming. I believe that's really what like you said, the European best European show and number 2 in the world.
And I mean, I always dreamed, like I've been watching the sport for a long time. I was a fan, obviously, first before I became a journalist, and I always dreamed like this sport needs to be bigger because it is so exciting. I never thought in my head they're never gonna sell a football stadium with this or get close to selling it out. I know you didn't fully sell it, but it was pretty damn close.
We did.
You sold out Deutsche Bank Park.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Sold out,
Sold out stadium is an amazing accomplishment. How does that change? Do you think other promotions see this and they're like, hang on, they're selling out football stadiums. Let's us try this. And then you see Dana White talking about he doesn't want to do open stadium shows. You guys have hit multiple open air stadium shows, which is so unheard of. It feels like you're going off of a bit of a dream right now, right? Yeah. It's like you're dreaming success in MMA promotion and you're just living it.
I think yes, and the big difference is because we are not trying to be UFC. UFC is great. I love what they are doing. Dana White is a mastermind. What he did for the sport, they should be forever glorified. But we are not trying to be UFC. We're trying to be us, and we're trying to be, we are putting in our product what we love about that. So that's why our show is a bit different. We act different. It's more friendly, I would say, more home atmosphere in our events, and how we treat the fighters, how we treat the fans, what kind of show we bring. I think this all represents how we see the sport in our way, and that's the big difference.
And for some reason, there are MMA fans that won't be watching on Saturday night, but if they are watching this, why should they tune in on Saturday night?
Definitely because of the fights, which I'm sure you talk about a lot. With Tipsport Gamechanger, the best fighters in Europe, and what we mentioned, and people are talking about, but also about this thing we just talk about. Like, it's a show. You have 6 hours of entertainment. I'm sure you will be entertained. If you're a new fan or old fan or core fan, this is just 6 hours of fun and great fights and action and knockouts and points and the twists in the fights, and it's so much fun. I'm sure that you will not have that many opportunities on Saturday to have the same level of entertainment than with Oktagon tomorrow.
Thank you so much for the time.